So we're finally getting a break in the weather here on the East Coast. No more frosty nights, we hope. So it's time to wake up our worms, get them out of their winter lair, and put them out in the sunlight. So stick around. Hey, it's Dan here at J&D Gardens. If you're a new viewer, welcome. Please support the channel by planting that subscribe button. And if you're already a viewer, welcome back. So like I said, we're finally getting a break here on the East Coast. We've had a lot of weird weather since spring started. And it only took to the end of April to get what is actually considered spring weather. I think today hit like almost in the 80s, which is absolutely beautiful day. And for the next 2 weeks, it's going to be in the upper 70s or 80s, and which is great. Which is weird because last week we had a bunch of nights where we were getting frost advisories, and it was going into the low 30s. Very, very odd. So we didn't know what to do with our worm bin since spring started, because it's been so hit and miss. So we've kind of left it. In here so that if it got too cold at night, it wouldn't hurt them. But I think we're in the clear now, so I hear. And it's time to pull it out. Now, what we've done over the winter, we actually kept our worms outdoors all winter. I don't know if you remember in other videos I showed you, I talked to you about a story that I did. I told you a story about that we left them out and they froze. But and I had to rush and bring them into the garage to thaw them out. But I think we got that totally handled this year. Like I said, we had them put inside this storage container, and we actually wrapped them with insulation and actually put a heating unit in it, and it worked incredible. We got incredible amounts of worm castings over the winter, and the worms were just fat and happy all winter and just eating quicker than we could feed them, which was totally awesome. So I think we cracked it. So I think when the fall comes and we're getting ready to put them away for their winter slumber, or not slumber, for their winter lair, we'll do a video on that. But for now, like I said, warm weather's coming, so we don't want them to overeat in here. So I think what we're going to do is kind of pull it out and set it where we normally do, so that they can kind of take in the elements as well. So I noticed that the tray is full right now, so I think I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to pull it out, because when I pull out, I'm totally sure it's going to make a spectacular mess. So give me a second and we'll start pulling this out. Okay, that actually wasn't so bad. Made a little mess inside there, but that's okay. So I'm going to, yes, it's still heavy, and that means we have a lot of worm castings we can pull out. So there you go, wasn't too bad. Like I said, this has wheels, so it's really the work, but I had to get over this hump here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of bring it over to its resting spot for the summer, and what we'll do is we'll feed them, and we'll see if there's another brick, more castings that I can pull out. Okay, should be good here for the summer. Now I have it here on my patio. And word of advice, if you're going to keep your hungry bin or any worm farm on any kind of patio or stones, put some kind of mat down, because the concentrated worm juice that comes out of it can actually stain it. I learned that the hard way. I had to really pressure wash underneath it. So anyway, I got the tray. I dumped the worm juice out, and it's ready to go. So the tray will catch it, but obviously there's always a little spillage. So I think what we'll do first, and we'll see if there's any let me grab we'll see if there's any worm castings. I haven't checked in a couple weeks, but a little bit coming now. The thing with it, actually, I probably shouldn't have put this until I'm ready to do that. Now, the thing is that I know there's a lot more ready, so sometimes it takes a little fall, so I like to grab my garden claw here, and I just kind of scrape a little bit. And if I see any worms falling, I know I've gone too much, but there's a lot of good stuff here. It's coming. Yeah. Last thing, I want to dig too much and it falls down. Could you imagine what a nightmare that would be? But yeah, I'm good. good stuff coming. Maybe a little more they could eat up. The stuff pretty high, so I guess we can wait a little bit. But we're getting some pretty good stuff. Stuff they can still break down, but don't see any worms, so maybe they're just not eating this stuff here. But you can see I got some, must have put some pine shavings in here or something like that, who knows. Or maybe these are eggshells, not totally sure, but good stuff. I always let it dry out anyway, and I run it through the sifter. So I think I'm gonna get a container to clean this up so I can put it back on there. Okay, cleaned it out, hosed it out, nice. If you've ever wondered, if you haven't seen it yet, this is what the tray of the Hungry Bin looks like. So there's a mesh tray here. This helps to stop all the worms from escaping. You can see that. And the hole in the bottom, that's where all the worm juice, oops, excuse me, very wet, I just hosed it down. All the worm juice escapes from, and the tray catches it. So I said, I think we've gotten all the worm castings that we're going to for today, which is fine. I really don't need any. I just did a batch not too long ago, so I think I'm good. Okay, very good. In here, so not bad. Now, I've gotten comments on this in the past, where I'm keeping my Hungry Bin. I keep it next to my condenser, and actually the reason I do it for a couple of reasons. One is that it helps, one, it gets it out of the way, but two, once the condenser starts going those real hot days, the air blowing actually helps cool this down. And I know people say that the worms don't like the noise, but that's okay. You know what? They don't have a problem because they've been eating great, and they've been okay with everything that I've been doing so far. I'm happy. I had the worm bin for over 2 years now, and just been incredible. And like I said, I keep it here, so really happy with it. So as you can see, I got a big bowl of slop here that we're gonna feed the worms. So I bring in the camera a little closer so you can take a look in here. Okay, so as you can see, I have my hemp rag here just to help keep the fruit flies out. Come a little closer. I got my thermostat here, and it's doing pretty well. It's in the hot zone, so not too hot though. And the worms, whenever the light comes out, they kind of hide. But let me open this up for you, and you can see they're moving really well. They're very happy. They don't like being disturbed like this, but that's okay. And there you go. Look at them. Doing great. How many generations of worms are in here, right? But really good, and they've really been breaking everything down. I've been throwing so much stuff here over the winter. Oh, look at that, an old banana. Lovely. So, love it. I'm going to try not to bother them anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dump this. I'm going to get this out of the way. Boy, this is I put this hemp rag in not too long ago, and boy, it's made an entire mess. So I'm going to dump this. I have a little bit of everything. Now, I know this stuff looks pretty fresh, but it's not. We froze it for this, so it's, trust me, you don't want to eat it. So I'm going to spread it around here. Oh boy, look at that. A lemon. Let me kind of break that up. It's going to be all, hope it doesn't squirt me in the eye. Make it a little easier for them. I'm going to spread it out, and I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some oh boy, my hands are a mess. I'm going to get some leaves here to put in to help keep any flies away. So give me a second. So if you're not familiar with it, a great way to keep any fruit flies from coming to your compost bin is to, if you have a bunch of dried up leaves, just put it on the top. The worms love it, and it'll keep the good stuff, or rotten stuff, whichever way you want to look at it, from being out, and the fruit flies will avoid that. And that's where the hemp rag comes in as well. The worms just make their way around it. So pretty good. Looks terrible, but it looks pretty good. So I think they're going to be pretty happy with all the food I just gave them. So let me close this up, and we'll wrap up the video. Okay, so there you go. It's in its spot for the summer, out of its winter lair. Now, as I mentioned in other videos, we'll probably keep this in here, in this location, probably till sometime late summer, early fall, where it's kind of in the shade here, because as the summer is going to start getting really hot, we don't want anything beating down on it. So it's going to get hot. It's still be around 90 degrees around here during those hot summer days. But if it was in the sun, other parts of the other sides of the house, it would get even hotter. So we'll keep this in around here till sometime in, like I said, late summer, early fall, and then when the nights are getting a little cooler, we'll move it to another side of the house where it'll get a little more sun and keep them warm, and then probably put them away sometime in late November or something like that, or depending when the first frost comes and it's consistent. So we'll see, because it fluctuates. Sorry. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions about the worm bin, or you see something I'm doing wrong and you want to give me advice, that's fine too. Please feel free to reach out to us. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. And be sure to hit like and subscribe and ring that bell. So from all of us here at J&D Gardens, till next time, remember, yes we can.